TriMet's West Side Express service, or WES, was already headed in the wrong direction, and the pandemic has made the commuter rail line struggles even more pronounced. Ridership is down nearly 75% from where it was this time last year. At the current rate, it costs TriMet nearly $108 per passenger to operate WES. Just introduce yourself, if you would.
John Charles, Cascade Policy Institute.
What's the solution as far as WES? Can it be turned around, or should it be dissolved? What should we do?
I believe that WES is terminal and it should be euthanized. TriMet would have to probably buy their way out. But there's a fallacy known as the sunk cost fallacy, which is, oh, well, we've already put all this money in. We can't stop now. And my response is, yes, actually, you can.
TriMet opened WES in 2009. The commuter rail operates on nearly 15 miles of track between Beaverton and Wilsonville. And that's part of the problem, say critics. WES goes from one suburb to another, not downtown.
And almost all commuter rail lines in the country go suburb to central city.
According to its own reports, TriMet said between 3,000 and 4,000 daily riders were forecast for the line by 2020. WES has never come close to those numbers, even pre-pandemic. Financially, is it worth the investment?
So far, the ridership potential has not lived up to the expectations. And a big part of that is that the large destination type employers haven't matured in the corridor as quickly as had been projected.
Roberta Alstead is a spokesperson for TriMet. She admits WES had some bad luck. Employers surrounding the WES stations left, while other big operations never moved in. And again, there's the route, which was inherited. It's an old rail line.
If the WES line actually went from Wilsonville and to Beaverton and into downtown Portland, ridership would be a lot higher, but it had to go where the tracks already were.
Fewer riders means greater expense for the agency and ultimately taxpayers. Since its inception, WES has seen operating costs per passenger dip slightly, then rise dramatically. Keep in mind, the pandemic has crippled public transportation nationwide. But even then, compare the cost of operating WES versus TriMet's other services like light rail and bus. It's not even close.
It is too expensive the way we're operating it today, but we're not operating it correctly.
Even the rail line's fiercest supporters, like Dan McFarling of the Association of Oregon Rail and Transit Advocates, suggest there has to be change.
One of the things that makes WES less cost effective than we would like it to be is because it does not operate frequently enough, and it does not operate during the hours of service that people need in order to use it.
Right now, WES only runs during the 4.5-hour morning and evening commutes. People like Dan want it to run all the time, and maybe even have the line extended to Salem.
While some people say, you know what, it's so expensive, we should do away with it, you're essentially suggesting just the opposite, that it should actually be expanded.
Absolutely. Study after study has shown that when you have a public transit system, particularly a rail system, and you increase the frequency, the ridership goes up per train.
WES is boxed in a bit because it coordinates schedules with the railroad.
The doors are closing.
TriMet is locked into an agreement to use the freight rails for decades. Critics argue those deals should be reconsidered.
Stop digging the hole deeper. There's no market for WES. They should just admit it was a mistake.
Experts predict the pandemic has forever changed the way we commute and the way we work, which makes you wonder if WES, which has struggled to attract commuter passengers for years, will ever get on track. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.